There's no denying that the Washington Wizards are absolutely abysmal. They're one of the worst offensive teams in the league, and they're even worse on defense. Their two highest-paid players, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, are two of the most inefficient offensive players in the league and are also complete liabilities defensively. And at the trade deadline, they traded away Daniel Gafford, their most impactful interior presence on the defensive end of the floor. Even though the team seems like a complete mess, there's been one shining star recently, and his name is Deni Avdija. He's been pretty consistent all season long, but since the team traded away Gafford, Avdia has taken a monumental leap and has become the best player on the team. He's managed to elevate himself into a borderline all-star who actually plays an incredibly efficient and well-rounded game in many facets. However, since the Wizards are so atrocious, his outstanding play has gone unnoticed by a lot of basketball fans. So in this video, we're going to dive deep into Deni Avdija and explain how at age 23, he's evolved into a rare type of star whose game is extremely well-suited for today's NBA. Let's get right into it. Avdia is a 23-year-old 6'9" Israeli-born forward who the Wizards drafted with the 9th overall draft pick in the 2020 NBA Draft. In his first 3 seasons in the league, he showed some promise, especially on the defensive end of the floor, but also had some glaring deficits offensively. The offensive flaws are quite normal for a player so young, but his defensive versatility for a player his size made him an intriguing prospect to basketball enthusiasts. Avdia is strong, fast, and extremely coordinated for a young man his size. He has a high basketball IQ, but early on seemed to be timid and inefficient on the offensive end of the floor. This season, his game's made incremental improvements, which has earned him a full-time starting gig for the first time in his career. But it wasn't until February, when the team traded away Gafford, that Avdia has seemingly taken a massive leap and has become a star in the league. Since the trade, Avdia has averaged 19.3 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. A major reason for his improvement this season has been his three-point shooting, which he shot around 29% throughout his first 3 seasons. However, this season, the forward has drilled close to 38% from 3 this year, making him a threat from long range. And that shooting ability, along with added strength and confidence, has opened up his entire game. Nowadays, Avdia drives to the bucket with force and has become a dynamic weapon as a slasher. For reference, in his rookie season, Avdia attempted almost 54% of his shots from 3 and only 38% of his shots from inside 10 feet, despite being a poor three-point shooter. This season, Avdia has taken 64% of his shots inside 10 feet and only about 29% from 3, showcasing his confidence and improvements in both decision-making and slashing. In doing so, he's improved his shooting percentages from just about every spot on the floor. He also draws over defenders and forces contact. And instead of floundering with added pressure, he's diversified his all-around game to become an excellent playmaker for a forward and also gets to the free throw line more than any other player on his team. In fact, Avdija's 4.9 free throw attempts per game since the trade deadline would rank him top 30 in the entire league if he did so all year long. For comparison, highly touted stars like Franz Wagner, Scotty Barnes, and Jalen Green all averaged less than 4.9 free throw attempts per game this season as well. Even future Hall of Famers like Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George averaged less than 4.9 free throw attempts per game this season. His ability to get to the line definitely poses advantages compared to some of his young peers. But it's not even his bread and butter. As previously stated, Deni Avdija is one of the best young defensive players in the league and is one of the very few players that can effectively guard all 5 positions. This gives him incredible versatility and switchability, which makes him a highly coveted, unique asset in today's game. But beyond that, he's also become the Wizards' best rebounder since the departure of Gafford. As mentioned, over the past 30 games, Avdija has averaged 9.3 rebounds per game. If he averaged those totals all season, it'd make him a top 15 rebounder in the NBA. Let me ask you guys a question. How many players in the NBA right now average over 9 rebounds and 1 three-pointer made per game? Because over his recent streak, Avdija averages 9.3 rebounds and 1.5 threes. Answer? 4 players in the entire league this season: Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, and Nikola Vucevic. Of those players, only Luka and Wemby average more threes per game, and only Luka has been more accurate from long range. Pretty crazy, huh? And remember when I said Avdia is mature and efficient with his scoring? Well, get this. Avdia has shot over 50% from the field this season while attempting about 29% of his shots from three. How many players in the league do you think have a higher field goal percentage while shooting the same or more of their shots from long range? It's a short list that consists of LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Chet Holmgren, Kristaps Porzingis, Miles Turner, John Collins, Obi Toppin, and Rui Hachimura. Kevin Durant and Jalen Williams would also make the list if they took more shots from long range. Clearly at age 23, this guy has some upside to be a matchup buster at the highest level. But like with all young players, there are some areas that he can make strides in if he wants to become a bona fide all-star in the NBA. For starters, he makes too many bad passes that lead to turnovers. Though he's shown at times that he's a savvy passer and we love that he's looking to be a connecting piece that moves the ball, he's going to have to harness some of his enthusiasm and stop throwing it away in order for the Wizards to improve. On top of that, for a guy who's become one of the better defensive rebounders in the entire league, he almost never gets in there and grabs a rebound off the offensive glass. If he could just get a little more aggressive in pursuit of offensive rebounds, it'd give his team extra possessions and could make him a rare type of double-double threat. But at the end of the day, his development won't come down to just his play. It'll also be impacted by his role on the offensive end. If the Wizards want him to become their lead dog, they're going to have to prioritize him in their offensive attack. For example, from two-point range, Kuzma and Poole have attempted almost 1,500 shots at a combined accuracy of about 51%. Meanwhile, Avdia only has 531 attempts from two this year, but has made over 56% of his two-point shots. And let's not forget that Avdia gets to the free throw line way more than either of them despite taking less shots. And from three-point range, it's the same story. Kuzma and Poole have almost 1,000 attempts from distance this season, which they've only knocked down at a combined 32.9% rate. In contrast, Avdia has only taken 215 threes this season, but has drained 37.7% of them. We can keep going. Kuzma and Poole have attempted over 1,000 corner threes combined. Poole has hit about 34% of his attempts, and Kuzma has hit a respectable 41% of his. However, Avdia has only launched 221 corner threes, but he's been absolutely lethal from that part of the floor, draining them at a 49.2% clip, ranking him amongst the league's best in that category. Clearly, the Wizards have some major internal issues, and for their sake, we hope some of their high-paid underperformers can share some shots with Avdia, because their current system isn't working out for him. But for some reason, we have a feeling that those guys aren't going to give those shots up too easily. But we want to know what you guys think. How good is Deni Avdija? Is he going to be a versatile role player for a long time in the NBA? Or can he continue to ascend and become an all-star? Let us know in the comments section, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports news and insights. Thanks for watching, and see you next time